What's going on, y'all? Wonder how you guys is doing on this Sunday. You know what I mean? I wanna talk about LeBron James and Bronny. But before we get started, I just want to let some people come in real quick. I want to talk about LeBron James and Bronny because I think a lot of us is missing the point. Everybody know that, well, before I even start with with my statement, nobody knows what LeBron James is thinking about. We can assume what he's thinking about, but nobody knows. So let's keep everything that we're talking about in a broad, let's keep it broad. Like, let's make this a broad statement. LeBron James has put himself in a position where he's a boss. He is the only NBA player that actually became a billionaire while playing basketball, while playing in the NBA. So that right there alone makes him box office. Meaning wherever he go, whatever he say, whatever he do, whatever he does, it's cleared. He could get away with damn near anything. He could damn near say anything. He's a GM, he's a coach, he's a player. He has put himself in a position to be as such. Now, nepotism happens everywhere. I don't care who you are, what you do, what's your profession. Nepotism happens everywhere. And you don't necessarily got to be related to a person. It's called resources. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So why, when we looking at LeBron James, why do certain people have to say it's nepotism? 9 times out of 10, you didn't get your position. Or I'm going to say 7 times out of 10, you didn't get your position if you didn't know somebody that knew somebody. And if you did get your position based off your hard work, your ethic, your morals, and everything else, that's a triple salute. But again, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And again, you don't have to be related for it to be nepotism. If you know this person, or you know their parent, or you know they, whatever the case may be, it's fair game. Resources, fair game. Now, LeBron has put himself in a position that makes him who he is. He a boss. And he's staying so healthy, or whatever he got going on, because I feel like it's more to it than just staying healthy, but that's a whole different topic. He was able to get his son in the NBA. Now notice I said LeBron James was able to get his son in the NBA on the same team in LA. That's tough. That's super tough. But the question is this, because LeBron James can put his family on, he can put his close friends on. LeBron James has put himself in a position that he could do whatever he wants. And when we can put ourselves in a position, we will be able to do whatever we want. But this is the real question. What's up with y'all too? I can't really read like that because I'm driving. But shout out to everybody that's tuned in. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Queens. Assalamu alaikum. The ball. What's up, man? So let me ask you a question. To me, it come off as selfish, but I get it. You got to be selfish because this completes, well, I'm not going to say it completes the legacy. Imagine your son playing in the NBA on the same team as you and y'all win a championship. So that's like a double-double. First year with your son playing in the NBA, y'all throwing alley-oops to each other, y'all throwing passes to each other, and then y'all go to the championship and win? That's tough. If they go to the championship and win, and I know LeBron James gonna be like, nah, put my son in. Take me out and put my son in. Especially if they got a game and they up by like 30 and it's 2 minutes left in the fourth. Man, put my son in. Let him get busy. Or keep me in, take him out, put my son in, and let's get busy. But this is the real question. Does Bronny feel like he deserved it? Does Bronny feel like he earned it? That's the real question. Do Bronny feel like he earned this position? We're not talking about whether we feel like it doesn't matter. We're not talking about that. Let's stay on course, right? Does Bronny feel like he deserved to be in the NBA? As a competitor, as a person that's been playing basketball all your life, watching your father play basketball, being a fan of the sport, practicing, getting the chairs, getting the correct. I mean, like your father pays like $1 million a year to make sure that his body is right. I'm sure he's doing that for you too. So Bronny, the question is, do you feel like you deserve to be in the NBA? And if you feel like you deserve to be in the NBA, that's all that matters. Do you feel like you earned it? I mean, it's a few. And again, we know why part of the reason why he got drafted is because of his father. But that's not the question. The question is, does Bronny feel like he deserves to be in the NBA? Do he feel like as a competitor, I worked my ass off to get in the NBA? What do y'all feel like? Do y'all feel like he deserved to be in the NBA? Do y'all feel like his competitive nature or his competitive spirit put him there? Do y'all feel like he deserves it? Do y'all think Bronny feel like he deserves it? Is Bronny looking at a basketball right now and say, yo, I worked my ass off. I put in the hard work. You know when people say, ain't nobody put me here, I'll put myself here. Is he talking like that? Is he giving it up like that? I ain't getting no handouts. You ever hear people say, ain't nobody give me no handout? I worked hard for it. Is Bronny carrying it like that? That's the question. blood, sweat, and tears. Me, that's who. Because I know growing up, right, you don't want to, some of us didn't want to live under our father's footsteps. Growing up, we wanted to compete. We wanted to be better. Now again, don't take what I'm saying and get it misconstrued. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Bronny's wrong or right. I'm not saying LeBron James is wrong or right. What I'm saying is, because I could play devil's advocate. I could play devil's advocate, but I also can play angel's advocate too. And I think that's the part that we fail to realize, like, it's a devil's advocate and it's an angel's advocate. Devil's advocate to me is, so LeBron is playing with his son in the NBA. We have never seen nothing like that in our lives. I don't care what's going on. It doesn't matter how many points he scored. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is LeBron James playing with his son. The first pass to his son, the first pass to his father. They get the hand clap when somebody make a good play. That's legendary. But then I can also play angel's advocate. How do you feel? How do you feel, Bronny? Can you honestly look me in my eyes and say you earned it? As a young man, can you honestly look me in my eyes and say it wasn't given to me? Y'all know the sayings, y'all know the quotes. I was born in, not sworn in. Y'all don't think, now let me take it personal. Y'all don't think that Bronny feels like he his own man? Like, I don't want nobody to say LeBron James' son. I got my own nuts. I could produce my own family if I wanted to. I'm a young man. I'm not a little boy no more. I don't want to live off of LeBron James' son. It's an honor to be amongst the legacy. It's an honor. Why wouldn't I want to be amongst the legacy? That's my father. I honor him. I look up to him. He put us in a position where we could also be great. But I'm sure he don't want to be looked at as, that's LeBron's son. Bronny. Not at all. And if you want to know my personal opinion is this. LeBron James has his whole career. LeBron James has found ways of winning championships. And the reality is, his first 7 years in the NBA, he couldn't win one. He went, but he couldn't win one. Don't take what I'm saying as if it's hate. Don't take what I'm saying as if I'm trying to talk down. This is face value. This is nothing that I'm making up. Your first 7 years in the NBA, you didn't make it, but you didn't win, but you made it once. You left Cleveland and went to Miami. You teamed up with Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and a few other people. You promised Miami that you will win 10. Or it wasn't a promise, but you guys were on stage saying not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 10 rings is what we're predicting. And if you would have asked me, could those guys win 10 rings? Personally, I would have told you, I don't know if they can win 10 rings, but they can damn for sure go to the championship 10 times. Let's be clear. You did 4 years in Miami, you got 2 out the deal. You left Miami, you went from that was a powerful 3 under the age of 30. Be clear. That was a powerful 3, Bosh, Wade, and LeBron. In retrospect, control, they were the face of their own, they were the face of their franchises. So for 3 faces of the franchises, the team up was impeccable. 4 years they won. Oh, and then you got to add the fact that they turned around and acquired Ray Allen, which was also impeccable. Out of 4 years, they got 2 rings. He turned around and went back to Cleveland. Another 4 years. I believe they got 1 ring out of the deal. You teamed up with Kyrie and Kevin Love. Now see, well, neither one of them were making the playoffs, but they still were the face of their franchises. That's a different topic. I don't know about, maybe he was, who knows, Kyrie. But I know Kevin Love was. Now, you got 1 ring out of the 4 years. You also played with a lot of other people. You can forget about it. You turned around and then you go to LA. Your first 4 years, you got another ring, which was not the lockout ring, but we're gonna call that the pandemic ring. You teamed up with AD, another face of his franchise at the time. You also got a ring with a lot of other Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers. You had Dwight Howard over there. You had Rondo over there. Man, those guys are future Hall of Famers. So now you have the opportunity, I guess, for the next 3 years or whatever the case may be, to make history with your son. You've been controlling the narrative ever since you went to Miami. 10 championship appearances, and you won 4 out of 10. You lead the NBA in all-time scoring. You're top 5 in damn near every category. I mean, you might as well just keep going, man. And keep controlling the narrative. That's all I'm saying. You put yourself in a position where you can do what you want. You get rid of spectators, you get rid of coaches. You just got it all under control, yo. Why not have your son on the team, whether he deserved to be there or not, and go ahead and play with your son? Shit, you stay long enough, Bryce will be next. From a marketing perspective, this is a genius move. From a selfish perspective, it's all about you. Like, because the legacy for Bronny is not going to be as impactful as it is for LeBron James. Everybody's going to say LeBron James played with his son on the same basketball court on the same team. That's just adding on to the legacy. Bronny, they're going to say, Bronny, you played with your dad on the same team. Bronny has not created a legacy yet on his own. So it's not going to be, it's not just going to be for Bronny. It's going to be all about LeBron James and that legacy. Now, if Bronny proved to everybody, if Bronny is sitting back like, yo, listen, I deserve to be in the NBA, and I'm going to show y'all why I deserve to be in the NBA. And he start getting busy, all the other talks don't even matter no more. It doesn't matter what nobody think. That nepotism, that shit goes out the window. You can't speak on that now because he's in the league and he's getting busy. Your thoughts and whatever it is that you're thinking, it doesn't matter. Because if he proves to himself and prove to everybody that this is why he belongs in the league, nothing else matters. Facts. What y'all think about it, though? How do y'all feel about it? Is it just all about him? Do anybody even care? Like, is it just about him playing with his son? Like, man, listen, I don't care. I just respect the fact that he's playing with his son. It don't matter if Bronny deserved to be in the NBA. It don't matter he got there because of his father. I don't care. The fact of the matter is this. It's a man in the NBA that's about to play with his son. Now, let's change the description of LeBron James and his son being on the same team playing in the NBA. Is Bronny mentally ready for what's about to happen? How many times did LeBron James get somebody thrown out, a spectator thrown out because of what they were saying to him? We got to put that in perspective. LeBron James has gotten a few spectators thrown out based off of whatever that they were saying. Is Bronny ready for that? Because there's going to be people saying, you're a baby just like your dad. You a crybaby just like your dad. Hey, LeBron James' son. And I can't even say the other things that they might say to Bronny. It's going to be people that's going to be saying some very strong, vulgar, profound comments. Especially under the umbrella of LeBron James. Bronny, are you going to be able to handle that mentally? Somebody push you, somebody get in a fight with you, somebody, man, LeBron, do you come off the bench and take the fine and the tech? LeBron, do you let your son handle it like a man? Depending on the situation, are you jumping in it? Are you going to yell at your son if he make a play that you felt like he shouldn't have made and he know better? Are you going to yell at him like you yell at everybody else? And I'm not saying you yell at people, but are you going to keep the same energy with your son the same way you do with everybody else? These are the questions that we should be asking. Because the reality is this, you're still a father. How old is Bronny? 20? 21? How old is he? 20? 19? I don't know. That's your son. Are you going to hover him and protect him from every scenario because he is your son? Or you going to let him figure it out? Are you going to look at people and say, but my son is he's still a kid? Or you gonna let him go through the kinks that you had to go through? Coming in the NBA out of high school. You gonna let him become a man in the NBA, or are you gonna protect him from every scenario? These are the questions that I would ask if I had the opportunity to, speak on a bigger platform or interview LeBron or Bronny, even his mother, for instance. How does she feel? When they announced the 55th pick in the NBA 2024 draft, and they mentioned Bronny James. Bronny, did you feel like you knew already, so it was just like, I'm more so crying because I'm actually in the NBA? Like, I want to ask like real psychological questions. I want to ask those psychological questions. I don't want to ask these mediocre jack in the box playpen questions. It's over 8 billion people in this world. Don't nobody want to just hear that politically correct questions. Nobody want to hear that. I want to ask the tough, respectful questions. Because just like people are just proud and they're happy, and you got people that's haters, but you got people that genuinely want to know, like, what are you thinking? And the only way where we can tap into what you're thinking is if we ask those respectfully, ask those questions, those tough questions that people are afraid to ask. Overall, I respect LeBron James off the court. I respect LeBron James off the court because he come from a background like me. Mother was on drugs. I knew my father, he didn't know his. But it was still a rough stop with my father. Living from house to house at times. That's a real story, man. Like, imagine your child, if you have any, imagine your child talent take you to the next level, man. You don't know what that kid was going through. You don't know how that kid felt. And I'm talking about LeBron James when he was a kid, sleeping on couches, sleeping in somebody's house. You don't know what he's seen. You don't know what he felt. The only thing that we know is that he kept going. The only thing that we know is that LeBron James kept going through it all. Now, we can sit back and say, well, LeBron James wasn't regular. So people, they fed off of that. Like, oh nah, this kid is different. He's this size at this age. When you look at certain athletes, they just got a different look. And that look, you can see two guys that are just huge, right? They're tall, they're strong, they're big. But you can look at an athlete and you can look at a person that's just naturally big, and you can say, even if they got the same, it's just something about an athlete. When you see an athlete, it's like, no, this the one right here. So whoever believed in LeBron James, they knew, like, this is not normal. That kid is going to the NBA. And they knew it since he was 7. So thank you to the people that that kept their foot on LeBron James, in a sense of kept pushing him, encouraging him, helping him, motivating him, being patient with him, being understanding with him, keeping him comfortable as possible. Because you can have natural talent, but if you don't have people, it's called a support system. If you don't have people that's willing to push you to the next level, you could possibly lose it. Let's be clear, it wasn't just his mother. It was everybody. And again, we don't know if people had an agenda. Everything's not always an agenda. But you can look at a kid and be like, no, he's the one, she's the one. We gotta put them in a program and so they don't lose it. It wasn't LeBron James' fault. He was strong, big, and different from the other kids, just like any other athlete. You even look at Allen Iverson. Him and Allen Iverson got like the same kind of story as far as, mothers and all of that, right? And somebody had to, you look at Allen Iverson, he looks like an athlete. Allen Iverson is probably 5'11". I'm 6'2". Allen Iverson got to be about 5'11", man. But he has that stature of an athlete. He's just an athlete. He looks like an athlete. Arms is super long. Like you just know what an athlete looks like. No matter how big they are, no matter how, you can just tell. So the point that I'm trying to make is LeBron James could have gave up, man. And he didn't. Through his trials and tribulations, he could have gave up. Yes, he had people that believed in him and surrounded him and flourished him with the game. Yo, we ain't giving up on you. Give it all you got. Don't you ever give up. Look at him now, man. He about to play basketball with his son in the NBA. That's what I'm thinking about. If LeBron James would have gave up, even with the people around him, being in his corner, being a support system, if LeBron James would have gave up because he didn't know his father, because his mom was on drugs, because he used to go from house to house, and he couldn't take it no more, we would never be witnessing greatness like this. I feel like that's the bottom line. Imagine if LeBron James would have gave up because of the pain that he was going through. So shout out to everybody that supported LeBron James when he was a kid. Shout out to everybody that gave him a home. when he needed it. Shout out to everybody that gave him something to eat. That nourished his mother. Shout out to his mother for never giving up, man. Shout out to his mother. Although she made wrong decisions in her life, we all do. We've all embarrassed our families. Or at least some of us, or most of us, who knows? 6 to 7 times out of 10, you embarrass your family. 7 times out of 10, right? You embarrass your family. You got people that you got some mothers that was on drugs, right? And they passed their kids off for months, for years. You heard? That shit. That's the shit that we're not thinking about that. I always tell people, right? Stop watching a game in the third quarter. Let's start the game in the first quarter tip-off. Don't just look at LeBron James having the opportunity to play with his son in the NBA. Think about if LeBron James gave up. Think about the pain that he went through growing up as a kid. Think about his mother. Think about the support system that he had around him. Think about his wife. And what she endured. Because that's the woman that's laying next to him almost every single night. They grew up with each other. Childish arguments. How many times they wanted to give up? How many times did they argue and fight and how many times did she put her talents to the back? How many times did she say, it's all about you and that's it? Even when she wanted to do things for herself, she couldn't because she had to be there for him. And yeah, it's easy to say, well, some people, and I understand that there's a lot of people in this world. Everybody's not going to think the same. So some people may say, well, she, of course she's going to stay around. He's a billionaire. At the end of the day, man, I'm being an angel's advocate, not a devil's advocate. We need to put these things in perspective, man. This was major. This is major. And to be honest with you, I'm not even a fan of LeBron James on the court. My favorite player is Kobe Bryant. But I just want to say, man, you gotta pay respect, man. And watch the game in the first quarter. Tip off. When it's tip off, you start watching the game. Don't watch the game in the third quarter and you just want to see the excitement. Think about the groundwork. The groundwork. Feel me? So I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate everybody listening, whether you dropped a comment or not. I appreciate everybody if you did share, liked, whatever. We're going to build this community up, man. Remember, when you come to this page, this is a human page. We talk about everything. This is not one of those channels where you're only going to get a specific topic. No. We educate ourselves enough. We learn enough to have liberal conversations. And I just appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to LeBron James. Shout out to Bronny James. Shout out to his wife, his daughter. Shout out to all of them, man. His mother. Shout out to the team that's around them. Guys made history. Keep going. Let's go.